Greetings and welcome back to another episode of Q Points Podcast. I am DJ Sir Daniel.
And my name is Jay Ray, sometimes known by my government as Johnny Ray Cornegay III. And Sir Daniel, time flies. We are back in the holiday season, the holiday spirit, sir.
Absolutely. It's that time of year. Go ahead and double fist that hot cup of cocoa that you have right now and just cozy on up to another episode of Q Points Podcast. Because, Jay Ray, after years, and I do mean years, like especially for me, after years of experiencing the holidays and, all the stuff that comes along with it, does Christmas music still give you, the warm fuzzies, and does it, make you feel holly and jolly still? Because I'm trying to think, does that still do it for me? How about you?
So the short answer to your question is yes, but I feel like I need to explain. Because I was too cool for school for like a long time, I would say things like, I'm not really into holiday music, right?
Yeah.
That was a lie. I think what soured me to holiday music is, as a person who worked in retail for many years.
Talk about it.
In November, actually, so back then it was like November, like you could time it. November 1, all of a sudden the dang Beatles started playing, and you would hear holiday music all day ad nauseum for an entire month, the entire 2 months. So it was like November to December. And so I think I internalized that experience with, I don't like holiday music, but I do like holiday music, and it does still give me the warm and fuzzies. But I think what's interesting about it, Sir Daniel, is I still like the classics, man. The classics still do it for me. I can listen to them classics every day, all the time. Don't matter.
Speaking of classics, we're going to discuss two classics that have had a chokehold specifically on the Black community since they dropped last century, because it's been a whole nother century since these songs dropped, but they've been recycled, they've been covered, they've been zhuzhed up for new generations, but the originals still hold a magic over us over the years. And I'm talking about, of course, the Christmas song by Nat King Cole and This Christmas by Donny Hathaway.
Yes.
And Jay Ray, what is that hold that it has over us in the Black community? Those two songs in particular, I have some theories around it, but me, I guess I'm a theorist over here on Q Points, but I want to hear your take on why these two songs in particular kind of have a chokehold on us.
That is a really interesting question. So what's interesting about the Christmas song? First and foremost, it was written by Robert Wells and Mel Torme. But of course made famous by Nat King Cole. And I think that song has a chokehold on our community because, one, it was a song by a Black artist released at a time when Black artists didn't have like the cachet in like the general pop community at the time. So Nat King Cole, I think, represented the possibility of the American dream, right?
Right.
And so Black people were like, this, yes,
give me that,
this.
yeah.
Give me more of that, please. And also, it's well sung and it's a beautiful song. And they did their big one on that. So that's for the Christmas song. I think it's that. For this Christmas, I think this Christmas is just like a quintessentially Black Christmas song. And I think that's why it has a chokehold on the Black community. And it's also a groove. I mean, who can't it's got all the stuff that Black folks want in that song. Yeah, I think that's why those two songs have a chokehold. What is your theory? What is your theory?
So I'm going to hold my theory just a little bit because you brought up a couple things regarding both songs, but in preparing for this episode, J. Ray, you and I discovered some things regarding these records that I don't think a lot of people know, and that's what Q Points is here for.
Yes.
Both songs are synonymous with the holidays, but we discovered that they were not immediate hit records.
Not at all. So, couple of quick history notes for the Christmas song. So, the Christmas song was first recorded, which might surprise people. It was first recorded in 1946 by the Nat King Cole Trio. It was written in 45, recorded in 1946 by the Nat King Cole Trio. And actually, the Christmas song has 4 distinct recordings. So, the first recording happened at WMCA Studios in 1946, as we mentioned. There was another recording at WMCA Studios in so one was recorded in June, one was recorded in August of 46. The second recording there included the Nat King Cole Trio and a choir. So they were like slowly adding things to the song. Then they did it again in 1953, and they did it with the string choir, but there was a different like orchestral arrangement. It was another composer, so there was a different feel. The one that we all know the most is the fourth is the fourth recording of the song, which was actually recorded in 1961 in the studio at Capitol Studios. And that is the one that we're most familiar with. It's Nat King Cole. It wasn't even the Nat King Cole Trio then. It was just Nat King Cole, the band, the orchestra, etc. So, interesting tidbit about the Christmas song is there actually are 4 different recordings of that song that all kind of have their own feel. We are the most familiar with the last. So that's that on that one. This Christmas, of course, written by one Donny Hathaway, who was credited as Donnie Pitts for this song, and co-written by Nadine Teresa McKinnor. Now, Nadine is really important to this song because the song really starts with her. Right. So she's working in, as the story goes, she was working in the post office, sorting mail during the holidays with Nat King Cole in her head.
It's a through line, yes.
It's a through line. So she's in there thinking about Nat King Cole, and she's humming along. This Christmas, Nat King Cole, we're doing a whole thing, trying to get herself through the day. And here comes the opportunity, and that's 1967, by the way, when they wrote the song initially.
I think that's very important.
That is really important, right? So this is 6 years after the most famous version of Nat King Cole's song. So that's still a contemporary song by the time they record this Christmas. Donny Hathaway's importance to this song is that Donny Hathaway wanted a quintessentially Black Christmas song, right? And by 1970, they record this song. And Sir Daniel, we learned this. We were both surprised by this. Y'all, this Christmas was not a hit when it dropped. Like this
y'all
Christmas,
paid it
y'all
on the radio.
Paid this Christmas dust. This Christmas did not become a hit song until after Mr. Hathaway's death. This Christmas was just like, it languished for years before becoming a hit.
And the thing about that with very popular songs, that sometimes really great songs, in essence, sometimes they don't automatically become a commercial success. They're like crock pots. And I think a lot of producers and musicians back then wrote songs for the crock pot generation. Meaning that they were allowed,
generation.
Yeah, those songs were allowed to simmer, to stew, to double up on the flavor and really get ingrained. And then they have this longevity that goes on for years. So much so that in doing research for this topic, I discovered that there are like 80 covers and counting of the Donny Hathaway classic This Christmas. 80 covers and counting, because I'm certain one of y'all is out there cooking up a remix right now that we may not need. But go ahead, do your thing, do your big one, put it in the mix. You see what happens. Maybe it'll become a hit for you. But yes, there's like 80 plus covers of This Christmas. There are approximately 1,709 covers of the Nat King Cole classic, The
Makes
Christmas
sense.
Song.
Makes sense.
That's crazy, but it makes sense, like you said, because the music industry is all about collecting them dollars. And sometimes if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Just don't recreate. You don't have to recreate the wheel. Just do what works and give the people what they want. So as we come to the end of as we get ready to wrap up on this episode, I kind of want to go back to what I was asking you in regards to why these songs have such a chokehold on us, specifically in the Black community. And you hit the nail on the head regarding what they meant to Black America. The Christmas song and This Christmas reflect two distinct eras in Black America's history. The Christmas song, to me, the Christmas song is like a is like a set of pearls that's passed down in a family. It's like your grandfather's patent leather shoes that are really shiny. It's just something there's something about class, a little respectability, politics, all of the things that affected Black Americans deeply in the Jim Crow era, the post-Civil War era, right up into the civil rights movement. There's this, like you said earlier, this need to feel like you're entitled to the American dream, whatever that looks like. Well, back then it looked like class. It looked like pearls. It looked like, a starched suit and, mom with her pin curls and 2.5 kids and a dog. All of those things that we were told is the American dream. I don't know. This is something that they just kept telling us.
They would say that. I'm like, what did that mean?
Well, I think back then you were encouraged, they were encouraged for population reasons to have 2.5. It's like two and a possible. I don't know what that meant either. And the dog. Don't forget the dog.
Don't forget the dog. You got to have a dog.
And so yes, that's why we get this picture of, and Nat King Cole fit the bill. He was a beautiful, dark-skinned Black man, but he had that conch was on point. It was slanted to the side, and he had a part. He was, the suit and tie, just a very classy set. Something that we as Black Americans could aspire to, and white America felt comfortable around, which is really the biggest deal, is that they felt comfortable with that representation of Blackness. And so that's why they were fine with that. And I think that's what propelled that song to heights. And then This Christmas was the opposite. But go ahead. I see you wanting to say something.
Well, I do want to, what's coming up for me, and I just thought about this actually. Mm-hmm. So I know that I've mentioned this in past holiday episodes, but it bears repeating. For me, the Christmas song represents like the start of the holidays, because my father, he had that old tattered Nat King Cole album with all the Christmas, like it would be like the cover was falling apart because he had it since it says 1961, right? But he would pop that Nat King Cole on as we were decorating the tree or doing whatever we were doing around the house during the holidays, especially if he was home during that time. If he worked first shift during the holidays, we knew that evening, Dad was going to want to do lights and do the tree, and Nat King Cole was going to start playing. Even though I couldn't smell it, even though we didn't have it, I could smell chestnuts roasting on an open fire. I don't know what that smelled like, but I do know what it smelled like, because we was smelling it in my house. There wasn't no chestnuts roasting on. We ain't had no open fires other than the stove. It wasn't no chestnuts on there. But the feeling, right? You smelt it. You felt it. My father never played. I don't know that he even owned This Christmas.
That's wild that you say that, because from what I understand, a lot of us don't include the Christmas song on their list of like favorite Black Christmas holiday music. But it's because I think, and this is where this Christmas comes in, this Christmas is post civil rights era, is very much in the, the Black Panther movement is going on. And we're in this era of I'm Black and I'm proud. And, we're moving into the future. We're moving into the 70s, and Black people are feeling empowered, and a lot of those respectability politics were out of the window. And this Christmas, whereas the other song was patent leather shoes and pearls, this Christmas is definitely an Afro pick and a leather jacket, and maybe a turtleneck because it's reflecting a reflection of the time. And, Donny Hathaway, of course, that image of him with the big Applejack hat and the cool, turtleneck sitting at the piano playing with a cigarette, all of those things give a visual of what Black America was feeling at the time. And to your point about Miss McKinnon, she was working a blue collar job, and at that time, and the American dream is starting to feel like, wait a minute, is that real or is it a fantasy? I'm here trying to pursue it, but I don't know if I'm actually going to have it. But when it comes to Christmas time, I can create this moment of togetherness, of longing togetherness and longing for a feeling of warmth and soul through this song. And we are forever grateful for Donny and Miss McKinnor for putting pen to paper and creating this holiday classic for Black America to enjoy, generations afterwards. And not just Black America, the diaspora. Like I said, you can't have a song that's been covered over 80 times and not have different flavors of it.
Sir Daniel, I got a question then. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna just share my perspective. I actually think this Christmas is so good that people don't need to cover it. I feel like this Christmas, I get why people cover the Christmas song because it's a standard. Like, it's a standard at this point in the culture, right? It has an arrangement, where the notes land, what the structure is. Whereas this Christmas is a groove, and it could be a lot of things, but I think the original is actually so perfect that we should just leave it there. What are your thoughts on people covering this Christmas? Because I don't like none of the covers. I ain't heard a cover of this Christmas that I like.
I forget who said this, but it's like a running joke. At least you tried. It's very much, at least you tried. We get it. That's the thing about covers, and we're going to talk about covers in the upcoming episode soon, so make sure you stay tuned to Q Points and subscribe, so when that episode drops, you'll get to chime in on that as well. But I don't know, the feeling around covers it's just one of those things that nobody really asks for, but I believe just artists have this feeling in themselves like that's a challenge that I need to take on, is to cover somebody else's music. Somebody cover a classic. And it also is business. True. The industry realizes that covers, Christmas albums generate money every single year. Thank you, Mariah Carey.
She falls out November 1st.
She started out already, so she's ready to go. And so I think that's just something that the industry has created for another carrot for artists to chase after. And a lot of times they don't even really want to participate in it. They just do it because it's something that they're told that they have to do contractually. So a lot of times they're not even wanting to do it. So, I can take or leave a lot of covers. It's very rare that somebody comes along and is like, oh, yeah, you put your foot in that. And shout out to people like Brandy and Robert Glasper and people like that have put out new Christmas music with different spins on it. And I don't know if it'll catch on to be a classic like these two songs that we've discussed, but the fact that they've attempted and that they are inserting new Christmas music in the American songbook is to be commended. And we hope that new artists follow suit and give us give us something else. Try and give us something that can become your own classic.
Yeah, absolutely. Y'all, thank you so much for tuning in as we wax poetic about the Christmas song and this Christmas. Thank you all so much. If you can hear us, if you can see us, please subscribe. Tell a friend about the show, friends, family, colleagues. If you enjoy Q Points, chances are they will enjoy Q Points as well. Answer the question: which Christmas song is your favorite? Do you like the Christmas song? Do you like this Christmas? Is there another Christmas classic that you really enjoy? Let us know. You could always email us at info@qpoints.com. Find us on social media at QPointsPod. Definitely hop in our DMs and let us know. We would love to share your favorite Christmas song. Check it out. If you want to support Q Points, head on over to our website at qpoints.com. You could do a lot of things over there. You could subscribe to our newsletter. You could get additional content over on our Substack. That's magazine.qpoints.com. While you're over there, you could also read other stories and other content that we have in the Q Points universe. And last but not least, you could go ahead and you can shop our store at store.qpoints.com. We really appreciate it. Helps to keep the lights on in Q Points land. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all.
That's right. And what do I say at the end of every episode? In this life, you have a choice. You can either pick up the needle or you can let the record play. My name is DJ Sir Daniel.
My name is Jay Ray, y'all.
And this has been Q Points Podcast, dropping the needle on Black music history. We'll see you on the next go round. Peace.
Peace, y'all.